Donald Trump's presidency has officially ended today. I correctly predicted the stock market crash to occur under Donald Trump. All of the right wing couldn't be any more wrong about a stock market crash happening under a new presidency in 2021. The only reason why they said that is because they had an agenda to blame the next crash on the Democratic president, but that is not going to be happening right here. As a matter of fact, this crash is happening this year under Trump due to the coronavirus. Who would have thought it? That it would have been a global pandemic that would create this crash. It's the acronym for COVID, coronavirus, that equals 53 and 26. It is 2020 crash that equals 53 and 26. This coronavirus was man-made so we could have a crash. It is all attributed to the virus. Bernie Sanders is running for president. There are claims that Vladimir Putin and Russia and China are engaged in biological warfare against the West. That has been speculated out there right now. However, if Putin wants Trump in there for another 4 years, then he would do everything he can to prevent the crash. But we're not hearing anything about this coronavirus occurring within the country of Russia. Again, the gematria doesn't lie. It's Donald John Trump. That equals 185. It is stock market crash that has gematria of 185. This is all happening before the 59th election. Elizabeth Warren may end up being vice president after Joe Biden gets infected with the coronavirus as someone who's really vulnerable to it because he is part of the elderly. And here it is. The stock market has erased all gains under Donald Trump. I predicted this at the start of his presidency. The crash is coming. The crash is coming because it is crash that equals 49 and 22. And this coronavirus pandemic became official after the outbreak of the coronavirus over at Lombardy, over at Milan. It's Milan that's 49 and 22. You just take a look at where this coronavirus originated. Over at Wuhan, China. Wuhan in Italy, gematria 67 and 22. And this moron, the other blonde-haired moron in the West, Boris Johnson, is acting like everything is just fine. He's worrying about the economy versus the health of the British citizens. It is Brexit that is only going to make matters worse for England if they do not have the European Union to help assist them during this pandemic. The crash is going to heavily affect England as well. Citizens are not in total lockdown right now. Boris Johnson is downplaying the coronavirus immensely right now. It's Corona that's 66 and 30. It's England that has gematria of 30. Britain is not doing anything to protect its people from exposure to this coronavirus. And this is all a rich man's scam to crash the market, to sell off, liquidate, bank in that liquidity, use part of it to jump right back into the stock market, and bam. You have liquidity to spend on, and you have stocks that are only going to accelerate in value once the next phase of the business cycle begins, which is expansion after complete contraction, after recession, or in this case, we may even have a depression. Nothing stands out from depression. Next depression, the next Great Depression. I've already had some people predict that obviously this is going to be worse than 2008. And some people think this is going to be worse than the Great Depression. I hope not, but it takes one trucker, it takes one postal worker, it takes one meat factory worker to be infected for a depression to occur. It may take one grocery store worker. These are times of great concern and precaution that's needed. But I correctly predicted the agenda of the globalists and the elites is that Donald Trump is a dead man. He doesn't even want to serve a second term. Trump is completely okay with this, which is why he downplayed the virus to begin with. He has stocks. He wants to sell off. He wants the market to crash. He said the same thing back in 2006. I sort of hope the real estate market collapses. He is a member of the oligarchical class, and the elites are ready to set off the crash. It is already happening right now. And just how about what March the 18th really means for this sign that we are in a crash, that we are in a recession right now. The 77th day of the year, we see Trump's entire stock market gains from his 3 years completely wiped out. Another Republican president is in the negatives in regards to the Dow. It has happened again. The billionaires, 77. Crisis, 77. Elizabeth Warren, 77. Joe Biden is 77 years of age. The Book of Revelation, Gematria of 77. In this Revelation, the code is where you're really getting this crash. Joe Biden suffering the coronavirus and the ushering in of a healer, the first female president, Elizabeth A. Warren, after the 2020 crash. That's what we will be talking about in regards to Milwaukee.